Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest Manchester United news and transfer news, and we've got lots of things to update you on this afternoon. We'll be talking about concrete offers for Antony of Ajax. We've also got an update on Frenkie de Jong. Is Dean Henderson going to join Newcastle? We'll also be talking about a Stuttgart striker that Manchester United apparently are interested in, as well as the potential for Jesse Lingard to stay at Manchester United. A bit of a rumour coming out of the club that Lingard could well be staying at Manchester United, despite him being out of contract and despite the clear tension that's been going on with Lingard ever since January and maybe before. So lots to get into. Hope you're all doing well. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe, bottom right hand corner. It's going to be a big summer, and we'll have you covered here on the United Stand as ever with the best community on YouTube, which is you, giving us your thoughts and opinions. So look, we're going to start off with I'm not going to start off with Antony. Antony is the main story, but we spoke a bit about Antony this morning. We've got a few updates on that. But just a little bit of breaking news around De Jong. Welcome to Members Club, Jesse. Thank you very much for joining. Get a little badge next to your name. Don't forget to check the exclusive content we have for you. But De Jong, a bit of an update coming out this afternoon saying, I think it was from Plettigol, who has been quite vocal on this deal anyway, saying that Manchester United and Barcelona are still working on this deal. Xavi doesn't want it to happen. De Jong doesn't really want it to happen, but Barcelona appreciate that they need to raise funds. As I've said, 75% club, that's where I'm at. Now, if we don't sign De Jong, people will go, yeah, but you were 75% sure. I've got to make it very clear. Today, yesterday, the day before that, I've been 75%. Tomorrow, something might happen that makes me go, this ain't going to happen. But all I can say is, I'm seeing a lot of people saying, this ain't going to happen, this ain't going to happen. I'm not there. From everything I've heard and everything I've been told, 75%, that 25% is whether we can persuade De Jong. It's as simple as that. Although I did read something from a Barcelona outlet a few minutes ago that Barcelona are trying to work on something I don't really understand, but it's basically going to bring a load of money into the club. I think it's merchandising and rights and something like that to do with Barcelona. So they're trying to raise money another way, but whether they can do that or not is open for interpretation. So De Jong still very much on. It's still very much on at the moment until it's off. And that's where I stand on that. Ryan, welcome to the Members Club. Ramesh, thank you very much for joining the Members Club as well. And Lee Taylor says, was having a good day until you said that Lingard might stay. Get him out. It's so funny, Lee, because I was talking to somebody about an hour ago about this, and I said, I can't talk about Jesse Lingard potentially staying at Manchester United. It will absolutely lower the mood. But this is the great thing about news. I've got to bring the news, and we've got to discuss the news, and that's the way it is. I don't want Richarlison, so... But I still think it might happen, although I'm not going to put a percentage on it. So let's hit the headline. Antony transfer offer. Welcome to Members Club, Sati and Sokra. Appreciate that. Thank you very much for joining. So in relation to Antony, things have sort of changed a little bit this morning, from this morning. Now, I'll come back to that in a minute. Sasa Kalajdzic from Stuttgart. My God, he's a giant, standing at 6'5". I think he's actually 6'7", Kai. We're going to be talking about him in a few minutes' time. This Stuttgart striker, he's basically an Austrian Peter Crouch. He's massive. Brandon, welcome to the Members Club. So we'll talk about him in a minute, but let's talk about Antony. So a story's come out today that Ajax have received contract offers. Antony and Ajax have received concrete offers from the Premier League, including Manchester United. Now, concrete offer, transfer offer. I mean, we all interpret this in a very different way. I interpret this in a very different way when there's a summer transfer window. It doesn't mean we've agreed a deal. It doesn't mean we've put an offer in. I think what this is we've expressed an interest, and we're not the only one. Now, it's very interesting. Charlie Austin, Phil Foden is a good pair. Okay, mister, okay. And hi, Mark, great work. Not convinced by the striker options for 60 million, plus should concentrate on midfield and defence. As David Miller, who's been a member for 5 months. Thanks, David. In relation to Antony, then, it's interesting because reports around Ajax are anticipating it's almost like the Dutch reports around Ajax are anticipating Antony will go because he can go for like 70 million and that's a lot of money for them to reinvest. They're even saying that potentially Timber will stay for another year and Antony will be the one that goes. Now, I'll come to that in a minute, but in relation to the news, apparently there's 3 Premier League clubs interested in Antony and Manchester United are one of those. I can only go off what I've been told, and I can also only go off what Ten Hag said. Ten Hag seemed to be more open to Timber than Antony, and was basically, and he's the inside man. I mean, he's no longer the Ajax manager, but it was until a couple of days ago. And he seemed to be very much of the opinion that Timber's available, but Antony would be very hard to get hold of. Whereas we're now starting to get stories that maybe Timber's not available and Antony is. I mean, look, Ajax are a good. I said it this morning. Will, welcome to Members Club. Ajax don't always win the Dutch league. Before Ten Hag was there, they didn't win it every year. And they only just won it by, 3 or 4 points this season. So it's not like they can afford to sell half their team. The right back's gone. Gravenberg's going. I think the goalkeeper's gone, I'm sure. And Arna's gone as well. Obviously, we want Timber. That's 4. I read today that Bayern are looking at Sebastian Haller. I mean, do Bayern Munich just want to buy Ajax? I mean, it's ridiculous. But even Christian Falk has said they are looking at him. And then you've got Antony as well. So they could lose 6 or 7 players. That's a lot of players to lose. And I do think Ajax are going to have to fight to try and keep one of them, because they're a big club. And I can't imagine them selling 6 or 7 players. Antony, welcome to Members Club. So I'm going to stick with what I was told this morning. And I'm going to stick by basically what Erik Ten Hag was hinting at anyway. I mean, Erik Ten Hag wasn't hinting that we've done a deal with Timber, but I believe United have got a deal in place with Timber, and they now need to negotiate with Ajax. I think Ajax will do that, and I think Ajax will say to Man United, we'll only sell you one player, Timber or Antony. And I think Man United will say, well, we want Timber, we do want Antony, but don't sell him to anyone else, and we'll come back in a year's time. Somebody just mentioned Newcastle there. That would be very interesting, because that might be a club that forces us out of the Antony race anyway. Newcastle are the sort of club that I think would definitely go for Antony. Or having said that, St Maximum off one side, Antony off the other would massively improve Newcastle. And they probably could say there's 70 million and give him big wages. So that would probably be a reason that he doesn't come to United if Ajax did sell him. But we do need to be careful. I'm not going to be blind to the fact that deals can fall through. We do need to be careful, because we could be working on a Timber deal, and in the background Ajax could be doing a deal with Newcastle for Antony, and then they go, we're not selling you Timber, and then we end up with nothing. So United need to be switched on with this, which I think they will be, and I think the inside knowledge of Erik Ten Hag will be really important. Mark, it's probably a good idea that United don't have a big budget, as previously seen in the past, says Slow Sports News. Welcome to the Members Club, Anthony. I don't think Ajax is going to risk selling half a championship team, first team, and then they have a new manager coming in, Stephen. I don't think they will either. William Brown, welcome to the Members Club. And hey Mark, why not go for Kamara from Marseille, considering he's free? Says Ray, who is now blocked because I'm not thick, Ray. I mean, come on. He's basically used the word Ray and then let's have a break. Pissed. Put them two together, what do you get? I mean, I don't know what channels fall for that, but I certainly am not going to. You prat. Right. So yes, I mean, look, Timber's young, but Antony's young as well. He's only just turned 22, and he's got a contract till 2025. So Antony's in a safe position at Ajax as well. So look, that's the news. Concrete offers have gone in for Antony, apparently from 3 Premier League clubs. United are interested. My personal feeling is that we'll get Timber. I don't think we'll get Antony. Some people think it will be the other way. Obviously, these things could change very quickly. There might be a scenario where Ajax go, we're not selling Timber, we're selling Antony. Do you want to buy Antony? And United go, we won't take anyone, and we back off. Or we'll go, all right, we'll take Antony. But as of now, as of what I was told this morning, and as of what's out there, I think we're going for Timber, and I think that's what's going to happen. Of course, Ajax can say no, but Timber wants the move. Bayern Munich have backed off from Timber. Timber wants to come to United. We've got to get that deal done with Ajax. That Kalajdzic guy, I'm not convinced. Better options out there, says Daniel. Okay, thank you, Daniel, very much. Okay, let's move on. We've spoken about Timber, we've spoken about De Jong, we've spoken about Antony. That's where we are at the moment. 3 other stories to bring you. Let me talk about Dean Henderson first of all. In fact, I feel a bit naughty here because I haven't actually... I'll put that up on the screen, and then what I will do as well is I will put the other one up in a moment. So this is coming in from Samuel Luckhurst, who's very close to Dean Henderson. I mean, I don't know whether he literally is close to him or whether he just runs the fan club, but always been a big fan of Dean Henderson. Some people think he gets information from him. I think that's a bit unfair. He's a big fan of Dean Henderson, that's for sure. Newcastle are considering a 40 million deal for Dean Henderson, but sources believe it is likelier that Henderson will leave on loan, and as he is contracted to Manchester United until 2025 and on £110,000 per week. And that's from Samuel Luckhurst in the Manchester Evening News. Edwin says, just let Newcastle have Henderson. What I would say about this is, we're not in the season now. The season's over. On reflection and completely taking any emotion out of it, that's a great deal for all parties. 40 million for United, I'd take 30. Dean Henderson, first choice goalkeeper at a club that's probably got a chance of actually competing and going beyond Manchester United in the next 3 years. Very big chance that you'll get your England chance if you do well. Newcastle get a good goalkeeper as well. I think it's a great opportunity for Dean Henderson to go and show what he's all about. So I think it's a great deal for everybody. I'm not taking the piss. I think it's a really good deal. Jaden, welcome to Members Club. Thank you all, everyone who's joined as a member today. I've got nothing to say about it other than that would be a really good deal. I think it's a good deal for Newcastle. It's a good deal for United, and it's a good deal for Henderson. The loan aspect makes it less of a good deal. What happens at the end of the loan? Does he come back and think he's the United number one again, like he did after Sheffield United? We don't get any money. Newcastle might look at him and go, yeah, we don't want to sign him. I think it's time to do a deal. You could put a buyback in there, says Venkat, if you want. But I think that Will says it's an amazing deal. I think I'd take 30. I would take 30. He's not played. He did very well at Sheffield United, but he's not played for 2 years. And he is a good goalkeeper. There's no doubt about that. I wouldn't put him in ahead of De Gea, never in a million years, but he is a good goalkeeper. And it's a good deal for everybody. And yeah, I would do it. Now, Man United might want to do the loan deal because they might be thinking in a year's time, maybe we do bring him back. But we have tried that before. And we do need money. And personally, when I look at the transfer window, Henderson going and getting some money in is part of why a £120 million budget could go up to a £160 million budget if you sell someone like Henderson. So I'd actually do it for 30. Maliav says he'd do it for 25 if you can include a buyback clause. Look, I wouldn't disagree with that either. But I hope there's something in that. And Samuel Luckhurst is very on it when it comes to Dean Henderson. So hopefully there is something in that. I'm not going to say anything other than that. I think I really genuinely... Sometimes you sell a player like Dan James and you go, get the deal done, get it done. But I actually think that's a really good deal for everybody. I think Newcastle get a good goalie. Henderson gets to become a first-team goalkeeper in the Premier League, which isn't easy to do at the moment. There's a lot of good goalkeepers. And United get a bit of money as well. So I think it's a good deal. I didn't put this up on the screen, and I wish I had done for you. So this was what we'd already spoken about from Pletigol. De Jong deal to Manchester United is hot, but Xavi is fighting in him internally and wants to keep him at the club. But Barca needs money for players like Lewandowski. So that's basically where we're at the moment, and we will see what happens with that. Welcome to the Members Club, Kai and Jaden. Thank you very much for joining. If you want to do that, click the join button. You get exclusive content and also your badges next to your name. I think Erik ten Hag will do well next season, says Atine, and be no surprise to hear Henderson wants first team football in the Prem, loan or otherwise, says Phil. And exactly, let's make a swoop, says Oki. He just needs convincing, says Slow Sports News. And Timber finally a footballing centre-back, says Sati. Okay, so the next story I want to talk to you about, I've got two more to talk to you about. I'm going to absolutely destroy his name, so I hope he doesn't sign for United because I will get it wrong consistently. Sasa Kalajdzic, who is an Austrian striker. He's 24. He's 6'7". He plays for Stuttgart. He does score goals. He's got 1 year left on his deal, and Manchester United have been linked to him by Sky Germany. Off topic, want to congratulate Paul Ince on getting the permanent Reading job. He's on Friday morning, Mikhail, so make sure you tune in. Paul Ince has now been appointed permanent Reading manager, but he's on the show on Friday, so you can congratulate him there. Scott, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for joining. So, Sky Germany have linked us to this Kalajdzic, Austrian, Ranić connections, 24, 6'7". I'm actually going to be completely and utterly honest, like I always am, and say I've been watching this lad week in, week out for years, and I think he'd be a really good signing for United. No, I haven't. I know next to nothing about him. I mean, he's probably quite an easy player to try and figure out what he's all about because he is 6'7". I know he's quite lean, but I don't know anything about him, and I personally don't think there's anything in it. I think this is a name that United have just been attached to. We are going to get attached to a lot of players that we're not in for. 90% of our players we won't be attached for. Daniel, welcome to the Members Club, and Mark, has the club forgotten we desperately need a CDM, says Oz. No, I don't think they have, and I think that... Scott Bolton, welcome to the Members Club. I think that, hey Mark, do you think Richarlison would be ideal for our strike force? Mo, you're blocked as well, you twat. You're thick. I actually visualise the names before I read them. I don't go Mo and then the other bit. Like, you're thick. You're outing yourself as thick because I win. But this, and also it's so 2020 trying to put two names together for a funny little clip. Like, that was happening in lockdown. That was like the funny thing in lockdown. Anyway, look, I don't think we're in for this Kalajdzic. I really don't think we're in for him. But having said that, you can understand why we've been linked to him. He's the Austrian Peter Crouch, says Pac-Man. No, that's not why we're in for him. He's not Dutch. He's Austrian, so you got the Rangnick connection. He's scored a few goals in the Bundesliga. He's a decent player. And on top of that, he's available for 20 million and he's only got 1 year left on his contract. And I do think that United will get linked to players who tick boxes like Bundesliga, Rangnick, Dutch, Ten Hag, 1 year left on their contract, cheap. Austrian, Rangnick. There are certain parameters where you can almost go on transfer markets and put those parameters in on Football Manager, and you can start saying United are in for that, United are in for that. I mean, look, we've been linked for Lehmer. Lehmer's got 1 year left on his contract. RB Leipzig, Rangnick. Austrian, Rangnick. 1 year left on his contract. Cheap. Midfielder. United need it. So I feel that with this Sasa Kalajdzic, that is exactly what's happened there. Daniel, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you. I think I've already said that one. So I don't think there's anything in that, if I'm absolutely honest. But yeah, Darwin Nunez update, says Jack Lynch. There's nothing really going on with Darwin Nunez at the moment. And I'm glad that you said that because, look, you get a lot of information, you read a lot of information, and it's about what you want to discuss on the United stand because... Jimmy Garner says, I've submitted my audition clip. Who wants Jimmy in? There you go. Jimmy in. There you go. I think that somebody just said there, do United not realise that we need a midfielder? There's a Premier League game on Sunday. It will decide who is in the Champions League. It will decide who is in the Europa League and who is in the Conference League. Arsenal were a big competitor for Darwin Nunez, going back to that question. Arsenal look like they're going to be in the Europa League. Arsenal's big thing over United with Darwin Nunez, Champions League. Now, no, they haven't got that. But then Arsenal have got Europa League. We might be in the Conference League. If we're in the Europa League and Arsenal are in the Europa League, Darwin Nunez probably chooses United because he might see it as a better option than Arsenal because we've got Ronaldo or something like that. Maybe. So, Calvin Phillips, Leeds. Is he relegated on Sunday? In which case he's cheaper and he's available. Maybe United go there. Leeds stay up. Maybe United go for somebody else. So I'm not panicking about who's the CDM and who's this and that because at the moment I think, look, you will get some transfer stories and we're talking about them, but a lot of things will become clear when the season is over. Hi Mark, what do you think about Martinez from Inter as Inter in financial difficulties? We've been linked to him so many times, Rory, but I don't think we've ever seriously been linked to him. I just want Ten Hag to get the players he wants. The end, plus is there any news on Lehmer or any other CDM? Says Mohammed. And do you think Eriksen with De Jong or another signing would be a good economical way improving the midfield too? Says Stephen Rossi. Well, I want to talk to you about this Lingard story very quickly, but let me just go back to that because you've just sort of pulled me back into something there. We do obsess about the CDM a lot. I agree. We do obsess about the CDM a lot. But I've said this quite a lot, and I'm not going to get you the tactics board out because I don't think we need to see that. But what do you think about Scamacca ahead of Nunez? It says Sunday. You've got to be linked to them first. How about members voting for the best audition? Says Simpson. It's not a bad idea. Thank you very much for the suggestion. I don't really talk about players unless I really think United are linked to them. We can talk about players we'd like United to sign, but I think you've got to be, you've got to have a bit of an indication that we're in for them, because Tchouaméni, I'd love us to sign him, but we've never really been in for him, and that's frustrating. But just going back to the midfield, people obsess about a CDM. De Jong's not a CDM. No chance. What if you are a member, watch out the latest exclusive video where we compare De Jong to Rodri and Matic. He's not a CDM. Some people will know that, some people won't know that. Watch the video if you remember. Really good understanding of what he's all about. But I don't think we're going to play with one holding midfielder anymore. I think we've almost become indoctrinated into playing with one holding midfielder because Man City do, and Ollie did it a little bit. I think we're going to play with a midfield two and a high line. So you might not need the traditional, Carrick or Matic. We might play with a two. We might play with De Jong and Fred. We might play with De Jong and Phillips. So I'm not massively concerned about this quintessential holding midfielder who's going to sit there in between the centre-backs and take the ball off them and sit there and protect them. I don't think we'll play with one holding midfielder. I think we'll play with a midfield two who dictate the press. So in that case, you might not need that type of a player. Mark, you still got that Roy Keane, the second half frame photo, bring back 2005-15 bridge for one episode, Mark, wearing a suit and all that, says Kai. Yeah, I will bring it back. I had it the other day, actually, didn't I? But one thing that people are really forgetting here, and it's almost because it's not a fashionable player to do it about, but Ruben Neves is leaving Wolves. He was belling at the end of the game at the weekend. If you don't know what belling means, it's crying. So, Francis, welcome to the Members Club. Ruben Neves is leaving Wolves. Where's he going? Where is Ruben Neves going? He is leaving Wolves. If he's going to Barcelona, well, clearly De Jong's going. If he's going to Man City, well, I don't think he is, but there you go. But where is he going? Where is Ruben Neves going? Because he knows he's going. He's crying his eyes out at the end with Molineux. He knows he's going. So where's he going? I'm not saying he's come to United. He's been heavily linked with Barcelona. United were looking at him last summer. So things can happen. Things can happen. De Jong played in a struggling Barca side this season and knocked out the Europa by an average team. Every top player wants Champions League football, but United isn't a big change for him at the moment, says Harvey. And welcome to the Members Club, McElvis. There are so many exciting avenues you can go down in relation to a transfer window, and it can change like that. Look, I'll give you what I think as a percentage today. I'm 75% sure that we're going to get De Jong. I'm 70% sure that we're going to get Timber. And I think it's 50-50 on Nunez. But the reality is, tomorrow, those scores could go up or down. I can only give you what I feel right now. Remember what happened with Ronaldo. He was going to Man City. I did a video on That's Football calling him, basically saying, I can't believe he's done it. He stabbed us in the back. The next day he's coming to Man United. Within 24 hours, that deal shifted. So if you want one thing about football, it's... I remember Fabinho. He was linked to Arsenal an hour later. Sorry, he was linked to Liverpool. An hour later, he'd signed. You never know how things can change quickly. And that's why you should never be 100% on any deal. 90% is a big statement. You're going to look an idiot if you've gone to 90% and it doesn't happen, as I know with Sancho. Do you think we should aim to sign Tchouaméni? Well, I would take Tchouaméni, Adam, but we're not in for him. Look, I didn't really want to say it, but somebody was telling me this morning, after the morning show, that Man United aren't after ANTONY. But I'm not going to say that because obviously we've just done a show where there's outlets saying that we are. And I think ANTONY makes a lot of sense. But then... Actually, I'll give you a percentage on ANTONY. I'm probably 70% against. I think there's only a 30% chance that we'll get ANTONY, and the reason is, yes, I think Erik ten Hag likes him. Yes, I think he'd be good at United, but I don't think right wing's the priority position. I don't think he's in a priority position for United. I think he'll be too expensive for United, and I don't think we're actually in for him. I don't think we are in for ANTONY, but I'll always give you the news, and apparently we are, but. You're going to have to pay 60 million quid for him, maybe 70 million quid for a right winger, and that's a lot of your budget. And when he's not a striker, a midfielder or a centre-back, who are the priority positions, I don't think we're going to spend 60 million pounds on a winger or a right back. I don't see it happening. So I think that I just don't see it. I really don't. But I might be completely wrong. I might be completely wrong. We'll have to wait and see. My question, just an appreciation super chat for my favourite United News forum and for my favourite presenter, also Mark. It's Sachin, not Sakin. Okay, Sachin, thank you very much. Welcome to the Members Club, Mr. Ham. And of the other midfielders we're linked with or at the club already, who do you see as the best partner for De Jong in midfield? James, anything I say here will be taken out of context. I don't really think you can put De Jong with Van de Beek, but it might work. It might work. They're not really tenacious, but then again, do they need to be? Depends how you're going to play. If you're going to be open-minded about the fact that we're going to see football we've never seen at United, how can somebody say De Jong and Van de Beek won't work when you don't know how we're going to play? A lot of people won't have seen Ajax play that much. And I'm not going to put my hands up and say I've got a season ticket, but you can learn things from watching Ajax games. Even if you go and watch one game over the summer, you can learn things. And that high line is very oppressive. It's very oppressive. It's very high. The midfield too are very oppressive. Obviously against Liverpool at Anfield, that's not going to work. But could Van de Beek and De Jong work? I don't think so, but you never know. Could Fred and De Jong work? Yes, I think they could. Could McTominay and De Jong work? He's got to do a lot of work on McTominay. Could Calvin Phillips and De Jong work? Well, yeah, I think they could. So, look, there's lots and lots of options. I actually tell you who I think would really work well, and neither of them are CDMs. I actually think Lema and De Jong in certain games would be really good. And that's the thing. We're talking like, well, it wouldn't work against Man City at the Etihad. No, it wouldn't. I think at the Etihad you might have to play a bit deeper. Maybe you do play a specialist holding midfielder. But what about when you're at home against Bournemouth? Do you need a sitter? Do you need at home against Everton? Do you need a sitter? Maybe Lema and De Jong with their energy and, you know. So look, I think put your trust in Ten Hag, put your trust in the club. Let's see what their plan is for that midfield. Because this season there was no plan. We finished the season with Fred, Matic and McTominay, and we started the season with Fred, Matic and McTominay, and there was nowhere to go with it. Jacob, welcome to the Members Club. And Mark, I think the most interesting thing for me is how Ten Hag deals with Donny and Bruno. I don't see how they play together in any formation, says Carl. No. And look, if you go back through the past, Ajax was a midfield two with De Jong and another player, and then Donny was the number 10. So, you know, I do think Donny could have played as an 8 at United, and I know he's been used at Everton a little bit there, but I do think he could have done that. Any word on Pogba, says Austin. Don't you think Martial would suit a Ten Hag system, says Football Vibes. But Ricky was on Sunday night, and I've said it before, but in the words of Ricky, I'm telling you now, Martial... No, in the words of Ricky, he said, look, I like Martial, but if he doesn't want to be here, you got to let him go. And I think that's the thing. I think Martial's had enough at United. I think he's had enough of the roller coaster and he wants to get off and go somewhere else. And I think that's why Martial will go. Yes, I think he could work in a Ten Hag system, but I think he will go because he wants to go. And in that case, he's been here a few years. Let him go. Mark, I just shaved my head bald and implemented intensive individual training regimens for the family, whipping this lot back into shape for next season, says Sean O'Rourke. So somebody just asked me about Pogba. It's interesting. I know a lot of people might not like this, and it is a bit of a rumour, but it is... I don't want to believe this, so I would say I'm hoping it's a load of nonsense, but there is a bit of a rumour going round from relatively decent conversation groups, and the rumour is that Jesse Lingard could stay at Manchester United this summer. But at least we wouldn't be moaning about a farewell then, would he? But look, Lingard wants to go. His relationship with Manchester United has soured, and he does want to. He does want to go. But this rumour is that Erik Ten Hag likes Lingard, and he may well stay at Manchester United. Now, I absolutely do not want this to happen. If Erik Ten Hag wants to keep him and give him a contract, then look, he can do it. But I've watched Lingard, you've watched Lingard for a very long time. He's 29, I think he's 30 this year. I don't think he's ever really been good enough to be a top 4 player. I know he's done decent things. He's scored cup final goals. He had a good run for about 3 months a few years ago. But consistently, I don't think he's a top 4 player. I think all he'll ever be at United is a bench player. And I would say to Jesse, look, there's been loads of mistakes you've made this year. Like, loads of mistakes, whether it's Instagram posts, not performing in the derby when you came on. You know, there's been lots of mistakes. But ultimately, I think he's a good lad. And I'll say what I said last summer. He should have left. It was so obvious you were never going to play any games. But you got lied to. Oh, you're part of my plans. He stayed. He should have gone. At West Ham, you'll play every week. At Newcastle, you'll play every week. At Leicester, you'll play every week. At United, you're not going to play every week. Even if Eric Ten Hag and Steve McLaren sit you down and go, you're part of our plans next year, you're not starting, mate. You're going to have Ronaldo and a new striker up front. You're going to have Sancho, probably Rashford off the right. Maybe we'll buy somebody else. You're going to have Donny and Bruno going for the 10 position. You're not a centre midfielder. Where are you going to start? You're going to be sat on the bench again. So you're a free agent. I can't see Lingard staying. I really can't. But apparently there may be an opportunity for him to stay. And I think Jesse will actually just say, look, you know, I'm going to move on. Which, adding it into... And that is a rumour that's going around. I'm not saying it's a strong rumour. I'm just saying... I got told that this lunchtime that Lingard, Ten Hag likes him, and he might well stay at Manchester United if he can be persuaded to do it. I think it's time to part ways. I don't think it's... I don't think it's a good situation anyway, because there's a lot of United fans who've had enough of certain players, and I just don't think they'll take kindly to that. For me, if he wants to sit on the bench and be a United player, and Ten Hag wants him to do it, then do it. But I really do think it's time to go. And I suppose that feeds into Pogba. I was looking at the betting odds for Pogba today, and he's favourite to go to Juventus. PSG are second favourite, but we're not far off on third favourite. You know, who knows? I think both will go. If you want my opinion, I think both Pogba and Lingard will go. But would I be shocked if they stayed? I'd be disappointed. I think it's time to part ways, but I wouldn't be shocked. If Lingard stays immediately, that's a red flag for Ten Hag. We need a manager who can get rid of the deadwood and establish an identity, says Rash. Welcome to the Members Club, Taz. And Ajax may actually sanction a lot of sales so that their new manager, like ours, will have funds to build a new team, says Caliber. I think Ajax are in for a very transitional season next year, and if they can win the title next year, and I hope they do, because, you know, I wish Ajax all the best. They've been really, really good to United over the last few years, and they've been really professional around Eric Ten Hag, and I believe they will be professional around Timber as well. And, you know, I hope that it's a big upheaval for them, and I hope they can adapt to it. Do you think Garner will be part of Ten Hag's plans? Well, there's a player, Thomas, that really should be given an opportunity. We'll have to wait and see anyway. Look, that's where we're at. Loads. That was quite a tiring show. Loads we've got through there. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We're on at 7 o'clock tonight because I'm doing a watch along on That's Football again at 8 o'clock. So 7 o'clock show tonight. Make sure you tune in. It is me on the 7 o'clock show tonight. Make sure you subscribe. Click the button bottom left hand corner or right hand corner. Remember, we'll be going live a lot over the summer. Loads of stuff going on. So make sure you subscribe. Smash a like on the video. Let's see if we can get 2,000 likes. And thank you to everyone who became a member on the show today. If you want to do that, click the join button. You're very, very welcome. And make sure you check out that De Jong video. There are some others as well. Exclusive extra content for you. And you get your badge next to your name, like Samuel Turner, Slow Sports News, and Foggy, who says, who do you think is good enough to play alongside Ronaldo up front? Well, I don't think we'll play a front two. I'd be very surprised if we played a front two. So I think we need somebody different to that. Apparently Gerard Romero is going to give an update in 5 minutes. Well, we'll see what he says. Maybe he's going to backtrack on his 95%, and maybe my 75% will have to drop. But at the moment, I'm still very confident. Thanks everyone for watching. I am on Twitch in about half an hour as well. My Man United career mode is okay. Let's see how we do. Thanks.